Hello guys, my name is Wale Farron. I'm a tech entrepreneur and you're watching another episode of Tech RoundUp, your weekly opinion, views and analysis of the top tech events happening around the world with a focus on Nigeria. On Tech RoundUp this week, we'll review the news that Nigeria Ministry of Finance is planning to introduce taxes for foreign digital services paid for by Nigerians. Then we'll continue our digital transformation series by looking at the role of technology in safe church and other religious houses reopening, and we conclude the episode with the news about Microsoft, its workforce, and artificial intelligence. What's the relationship? We still have our number of the week and digital transformation tips, so look out for that towards the end of the show. It's a packed show, so let's get started. The federal government plans to tax foreign digital service providers offering services to Nigerians and earning revenue in Naira. As you can imagine, there's been a significant adoption of such services since the pandemic, and these services include video streaming sites, social media platforms, and companies that offer download of digital content. And they're expected to pay digital taxes to the Federal Inland Revenue Service. The Finance Ministry had issued the company tax or what significant economic presence, otherwise known as SCP 2020, as an amendment to the Finance Act released in 2019. We spoke about the 2019 Finance Act on one of the past Tech RoundUp episodes, and you can check it out. Netflix, Facebook, Twitter, among others, are some of the foreign companies that offer digital videos and advertising services to Nigerians. Others like Alibaba and Amazon generate revenue from Nigeria by processing and transmitting data collected about users in Nigeria, provision of goods and services directly or through digital platform, or offer intermediate service that links suppliers and customers in Nigeria. There are other guidelines that determine what's taxable and who pays those taxes, including volume of sale in Naira and the type of service and a few other criteria. As always, on Tech RoundUp, we're looking at the practicality and implication of this move on the service provider, you the consumer, and the regulator. There are a few lenses through which we can look at them, and they include the following. 1. What signal does this send to service providers? What's the level of economic activities being done by these companies today, and does this force them to have local presence or even consider cutting ties with the region in terms of their service offering? 2. Tracking and enforcement. Does the government have the tools to enforce that these taxes are paid for? It might then mean looking at financial transactions done through bank cards and applying fees after the fact. But then, those fees are applied to you, the consumers, and not the service providers. And if that's done, that leads us to the third point. Does paying those additional taxes deter adoption by you, the customer? And subsequently, what are the revenue implications of that for domestic organizations like the telcos, banks, and even the fintechs? We'll keep monitoring this story and we'll keep you updated. And to our next story. Following the Lagos State government orders, religious centers in the state will reopen from June 19 and have in attendance not more than 500 people. Other conditions like children below 15 and adults above 65 should not be in attendance was part of the agreement, as the demographic are said to be more vulnerable to the pandemic, although I'm not sure about the children. The condition also holds that religious houses are only able to run Sunday services for Christian and Friday Jumat for Muslim. Both churches and mosques are expected to carry out regular fumigation and other health guidelines from the authorities. With this, I thought we should look at digital transformation series and the role technology will play in safe reopening for churches. Today's churches already leverage technology for various functions that allow them to conduct any service or gathering smoothly, keep their community engaged, and receive donation. Some go as far as leveraging technology for record keeping and transparency. But since the pandemic and lockdown, the concept of a church gathering has changed, essentially to online meeting, and now that churches are resuming physical gathering, we argue that digital transformation must be considered even more seriously, as I present this in 3 different categories. 1. There's a need to ensure social distancing. Apart from restrictions of the number of members that can be in service at the same time, there's a need going forward for churches to use technology to keep constant view of the number of people in the building at every point in time. Churches can potentially use a reservation system to reserve and allocate seats, and members are only admitted based on their reservation. 2. There's a need to keep community engagement. It should be expected that not all members will be able to return to church anytime soon. Churches will need to continue to make provision for online streaming, have websites and apps to share information to members, and maintain engaging social media outlets to communicate and receive information from members and general public. And lastly, there must be consideration for donation and payment. This is important for community to run, and providing digital payment tools that allow contactless and touchless transactions will be very important. Various tools are emerging. For example, NetPlus recently launched a product called Church by NetPlus that allow churches to create a simple payment URL for reporting and management. And to our last story. Until now, companies like Microsoft employed capable hands to power its multifaceted organization. However, the tech giant reevaluated its staff composition vis-a-vis the capabilities of AI and opted to restructure the news section. As such, some journalists were either deployed to other sections or simply laid off. The company's decision is driven by the application of artificial intelligence to create and report news through its many outlets. The benefits of this action cannot be ignored. Artificial intelligence is capable of carrying out tasks faster than humans with a significant level of precision and accuracy after all. In Microsoft's case, this means that the news reports and content creation is expected to increase exponentially. At least that's what they are aiming for. But my question is, at what cost? The inevitable fallout are job losses. Microsoft's action is merely an indication of the trend that is likely to occur, meaning a significant number of job losses, or at least reskilling that will happen with time. Other concerns specifically for Microsoft will be: 1. Heavy dependency on AI may result in the accidental release of explicit text or images that may incite hate speech, attacks, and others. 2. AI has not grown its capability to the point of filtering content and making a choice on what is worth publishing or not. And 3. How seamlessly can AI actually create content? In carrying out its program task, AI may employ a destructive method to achieving its goal, resulting in data privacy for that simple reason. AI will do what you want it to do, but not how you want it done, period. Microsoft's attempt to apply AI to content creation for its news outlet has a lot of questions that are unanswered. The benefits seem attractive and desirable, but the risk cannot be ignored. The number of the week is 59. A recent McKinsey report stated that 59% of business processes were subject to automation, and concluded that between 400 and 800 million jobs could be lost due to robotic automation by 2030. That's in just 10 years. Our digital transformation tip of the week is to develop a culture of adaptability. A culture within your organization that embraces technology and the changes that come with it, to make sure that everyone is on board. Otherwise, you'll find the organization lacking the momentum to keep up. We'd love to hear your comments and feedback, so please connect with me on LinkedIn at Wale Farron and subscribe to our Tech RoundUp YouTube channel if you haven't done so. And also, please remember to listen to Tech RoundUp on radio every Wednesday at 11 a.m. on Nigeria Info 99.3 FM. Have a great weekend, guys, and see you all again next week. Thank you. Good night.